Hello and welcome back to another episode of A Build a Day. Today we are again building a requested build. This one I believe was requested by the same person that requested yesterday's build, which is pretty cool, you know, one person. That would be Eye of the Forest. Thank you again for multiple ideas. This one was pretty good. It turned out all right. It's grown on me. Initially, I was not the happiest with it, but I think it's grown on me. Without shaders, because I forgot to switch them on again. It looks all right. It could do with maybe a bit more detail, but it looks all right. And then you add shaders and it looks like 10 times better. But that happens with most things. You could build a dirt house and put shaders on and it would probably look all right. But we start with some terraforming. I don't do terraforming, so I had already pre-built this in a creative world because I needed to figure out what on earth I was going to do. So I'm copying this off of screenshots that I made of that build. Not the most effective way of gathering a sort of semi-blueprint for a build. Not very effective. But we got there. We got there in the end, as we can see the sort of base coming together. That was a weird way of saying coming. I don't know why I said it like that. But anyway, the sort of base has this path coming up the sort of the side round where a tower will go. And then there's like a little sort of crevice thingy. I don't really know what it is. It's just sort of like a dip. It's an excuse to put a drawbridge in because drawbridges are cool. But that's the sort of weird open bit at the front that doesn't have anything on it. But now we're building the sort of what I would call a what is the name? A barbican. It's sort of like this outer gate bit thingamajig. Basically, gate is not strong enough on your castle, so you build a barbican, sort of maybe over the moat from the gatehouse, so you can basically defend the drawbridge and the gate from the barbican, and then it's basically just another line of defense, basically. So that's sort of what I'd call that. It's like a little barbican thingy, because it's a drawbridge, or just a bridge in this case, to sort of one side of it. But now I'm completing the terraforming under the sort of the bridge bit. Oh, I wish I took more screenshots of this part. This was so irritating to get in. But as you might be able to notice, we're quite far away. But I have used a pretty interesting gradient for this build. At least on the base. The roof gets cooler. I really like that gradient. But the base sort of has a gradient from acacia wood to tough dead brain coral, and then I think it was gravel andesite, and then light grey wool, light grey concrete, smooth stone, like the smooth stone, if you got stone and put it in a furnace, and then diorite, birchwood, white concrete, powder, and white wool. That was a lot of blocks to remember. Yeah, I've sort of divided this into like 3 tiers. We got like the Barbican-y bit that we've already built with the sort of the first floor. It's just 1 floor. And then the sort of bigger main bit, maybe like a main hall type area or something, that has 2 floors. And then the sort of tower at the back side of the build, or the front or the side. This build doesn't really have a front, but that sort of tower that's behind the sort of main bit as we see it here, that's 3 floors. So I sort of designed it like this so that as you obviously go higher, the lighter it gets draws your eyes up to where that tower is, and obviously where the roof is, which is I cannot state enough how much I like the roof. It's a very nice roof, but we'll get onto that later because we're not building it yet. But yeah, building this was an absolute pain. It took me nearly 30 minutes for this tiny build. It was it's so annoying, but I got there in the end through a lot of trial and error and dealing with concrete powder. I need to stop building out of concrete powder. It's a nice block, but it's so irritating because it has gravity and you have to put stuff under it and it falls down. But now we're decorating. I know we're doing decorations in the wrong order. Kind of. I can't be bothered doing them afterwards because it just gets a little bit too difficult. So we're gonna do them now. And a roof trim, obviously. Gotta trim out the roof, you know, because otherwise it would look a bit weird. It would just start, you know. So that's something sort of made out of some dark oak stuff, which is, you know, it's a pretty nice contrast between the lighter greys, the whites, and then the red, which is, you know, what ideally I would like. And here we go, the roof, the main, like, part of this build, I guess. This gradient goes from red terracotta to red concrete powder, stripped acacia wood, acacia planks, red sandstone, and then polished, or no, smooth red sandstone. And it's got like these spiky bits at the top. I don't really know what they're called, but they're like spiky bits and they look cool. So I added them, and I can obviously make them blend in with the roof because I can just use acacia fence, lightning rod, and some red sandstone walls, which is, you know, pretty good. I'm also using the same general way of making gradient that I've been doing for the past couple builds, where you basically just do bands and then break off areas on the top layer of each band and replace it with the blocks above it. And it's just a quick way of sort of diffusing the gradient and making it look better. So yeah, that build looks pretty good, and there we go. The video is over. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow.